This is Training Insights, Episode 4. Hi, and welcome to Training Insights. I'm Kevin McGowan. This podcast is brought to you by Training Magazine. So go to trainingmag.com and you can read all sorts of amazing articles, subscribe to the magazine, and of course, hear these podcasts. Today, I'm going to interview Don Wood and Mona Covey. And now they're from Keller Williams, and they last year won the number one training organization spot in a competition with Training Magazine. And after a little bit of research, it's funny, this actually kind of all came together strangely. My cousin is actually a realtor for Keller Williams, and he mentioned that they're a great training organization, and so I did some investigating, and sure enough, Training Magazine had given them this big award. So I wanted to learn little bit more about their organization, about why Keller Williams emphasizes training so much. They really do consider themselves a training organization that does real estate, kind of as opposed to the other way around that you might expect. So I wanted to ask them a little bit more about what they do, why they do it, and why they're so successful at it. So here's Don Wood and Mona Covey.
Mona Covey and Don Wood, how are you?
Good morning. We're great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
With you, Kevin.
Well, thanks so much for doing this. I've become quite a fan of Keller Williams, especially since starting this podcast with Training Magazine, because especially you won the 2017 Training Top 125. Your organization was in the number one spot.
That's correct. We did win.
Yes, we did.
So go ahead.
We're so proud of that. We have applied for many years, and we made the top position twice. And, we're in the Hall of Fame now. We're extremely proud of that accomplishment.
Well, here's a question I don't get to ask many people too often. Why are you so great? The question everybody wants to be asked. But what is it about the Keller Williams methodology, the whole training system that you have developed that has gotten you to this point?
Well, it's interesting, and I will say, Kevin, from filling out those applications, I would say that we all became even more aware of our greatness by having to go through the exercise of defining really what our problems were that we were looking to solve, or what our challenges, and then the solutions we put forth to solve those, and what kind of results we got. And looking back on all that, we're good record keepers, and we were able to track all of our training and the kind of results we got. And we have seen amazing results. I've been here 10 years, and the company has more than doubled in size and in profitability with our locations across the world. We were only in North America when I first started with the company 10 years ago, and now we're worldwide. And a lot of it, when people join us, they do say it's about our reputation for training. And really that comes from the man at the top. That is Gary Keller, the co-founder and chairman of this company. He is an educator himself, and he's a learner. He reads many books a week and digests that, and then passes it down throughout the company. And he promotes the training, and he has a hand in the training.
Right.
We are expected as designers of the training to interview the top, say, 100 agents across the land, and those are even outside of Keller Williams. We're talking in the industry, and come up with the best systems across, that work across the industry, and put those forth in training materials. And they are highly, highly successful, and that's why people join us and why we've grown so much.
And we don't just interview 2 or 3 people. Like Mona said, we interview 100 people.
Right.
There's lots of research that goes on, and Gary Keller likes to say that Keller Williams is a coaching and training company disguised as a real estate company. So really we focus on coaching and training.
Well, in any industry that I've worked in, and my experience is mostly in high tech and not-for-profit, things like that, but it's usually the goal is pretty obvious. We're creating a widget, we're selling a widget, we need to promote a widget, we need to train people on how to use whatever this widget is. And so my background kind of makes me think of it fairly modularly, I guess, in that way. Training, like documentation or anything else related, is all in the pursuit of getting them better at using this product. But you flip that a little bit in that Keller Williams is focusing so much on the training development that it actually improves, or that is the service that you're providing, really. You're providing real estate services, but to your staff, you're actually giving them more and more tools to make them better and better all the time.
Indeed, that's so true. And not only that, but within the university, we're developing this really high-class training. And then on top of that, we have a follow-on, which is our coaching. Don mentioned we're a training and coaching company. And we have a very large coaching division that then we hand off, well, not physically, but we point our learners in that direction and hand them over to our coaching division. And that's where they really take off. When you have somebody questioning your goals and helping you attain those on a weekly basis, I mean, the sky's the limit. And the other thing, Kevin, that makes Keller Williams so unique and different in our training and different from your tech background, I have a similar background before coming to the real estate industry, is that none of this training is required. No one has to come to our training. So we have the interesting task of making our training appealing and enticing. And most of it, and again from Gary Keller, 50% of it is activities-based in the classroom. So people are actually building their businesses in the classroom. That means they're calling on customers and that sort of thing. And from the kind of results we get from our training is, and we track it, obviously, for training magazine purposes.
Right.
We're good at that. But, our agents that attend training are 71% more likely to have closed transactions, that is, closed real estate transactions, and that's what they need to do. Yeah. And they make 50% more commissions. So that's what we can prove, and people are attracted to that, quite honestly.
Well, yeah, if I'm a realtor, I can only imagine if I'm looking, to align myself with a particular organization, I see stats like that, I'm definitely going to gravitate towards you guys. So this is, I just want to go back to it. This is your core business, and not just for your, group of the Keller Williams University, but for the whole organization. This is core, that the people are trained. But what's interesting is that it's not required. So these people are super motivated to go and do it themselves.
Yeah, there's another super motivation, and that is going on right now in this location where we are. And agents who attain the top status, top sales status, the top 100, have the privilege of coming to hear directly from Gary Keller himself and getting together in a room for 1 to 2 days and masterminding and brainstorming with those other 100 people that are at the top of their game. And there's big competition for that.
Yeah.
It's extremely.
And, Kevin, too, one of the things we offer all this training, obviously we need somebody to put on the training. So we have a faculty, 150 faculty members who travel the world teaching our training. And again, that's another revenue stream for them. Not only are they our top agents, a lot of them have built what we call a 7th level business. And what that means is you get to the 7th level and you step out of the business and the business runs itself. And a lot of these people have a passion for training. So they travel for us teaching all of our course materials. And again, it's another revenue stream for them to earn money by traveling and teaching. And of course, we also have, those are 150 of our certified faculty. We also have faculty within our market centers. We have over 700 market centers. We have faculty within there that, again, train these agents because they're passionate about it, not because they're getting paid or not because they're looking for something for themselves. They're doing it because they're passionate about the industry and helping each other. We're really a servant leadership company, and you definitely see that when it comes to training.
Wow. So can you tell me a little bit about the family reunion? Because I know you had that recently. Recently it was in Vegas, right? So tell me a little bit about that, because I know your group, the university group, actually creates that as well. Yes.
So Family Reunion is the largest real estate conference across all real estate companies. So we have the largest one. This year was in Las Vegas, once a year in February. and we had 17,000 agents come. And we hosted it at Mandalay
Bay. It's a whole city.
It's a whole city, right? 17,000 agents. It actually sells out in 24 hours. It's kind of like, you're getting tickets to Bon Jovi, and, they sell out so quickly. So it's kind of exciting for us when we release the tickets. It's a very exciting day. So 17,000 people at Mandalay Bay this year. In Mandalay Bay, the staff was joking with us that we broke Vegas, saying that Mandalay Bay, this is the first time they've ever hosted 17,000 people at their convention center. So it was really great. And like I said, training is our value proposition. So people come to Family Reunion for training. So while Gary Keller has a big session, he teaches a session called Quantum Leap, which is about basically his life story and how he came into real estate. He teaches that for several hours on the first day, but most of the rest of the time are breakout sessions. So this year we had 211 breakout sessions over 8 time slots. So 211 over 8 time slots. We had 124 presenters. We had 85 facilitators and 292 panelists. And those 211 breakout sessions are written by our team. The Keller Williams University team actually writes the content for those sessions. So as you can imagine, this takes us about 6 months to do. We work on Family Reunion for approximately half the year.
Right.
And we love it.
We love it. It's so fun.
It is fun. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, how is organizing a breakout session like that for the reunion different from the other curriculum that you're developing and passing down through the organization?
In a lot of ways, it's not that different because we do dig into our current material. We have so much research in our libraries and so much good material that we bring that forth and we plus it. We make it a little fresh and interesting. And then each year we have perhaps a new theme. Like this year we had a couple new initiatives the company was pushing, and that was one's called the Growth Initiative, and the other one's called the Career Growth Initiative. And they're either targeted towards leadership or agents. And they're a great set of tools and a great, mindset and for pushing forward and even into more greatness. So we applied that theme this year to all of our breakouts pretty much. I would say almost 80% of our breakouts had those initiatives kind of carved into them. So again, it is some research, and again, we choose our top faculty and our top agents only to present or to facilitate or to be on a panel. There's quite a qualification rigor that they go through that Dawn oversees. She loves that too. And
I love it.
I love it.
It's the best. Yeah. Well, look, Dawn and Mona, we'll leave it there, but I want to say thank you so much. That was really insightful. I've learned a lot.
Thanks for having us, Kevin.
Yeah, it's been fun.
All right, thanks so much.
That was my conversation with Dawn Wood and Mona Covey from Keller Williams, a training organization that just happens to dabble in real estate. And I want to send a thank you to my cousin, Jamie Sloan, who's a realtor in Sarnia, Ontario, because he actually turned me on to the whole organization and was telling me all about it to begin with. So thanks to you, James, as well. If you'd like more information on this podcast or on Training Magazine, go to trainingmag.com. If you'd like to get in touch with me, maybe you'd like to participate, maybe you'd like to be interviewed, maybe you just have a topic suggestion, you can go to kevinmcgowan.ca. That's my website, and you can drop me a line through there. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.